I believe it's Curtis. You are live, mate.
Hello, how are you doing?
I am very fine. Welcome back.
Good, good. So I noticed the title of the video again.
Hmm.
I just curious. I wanted to bring that up. Why
Sure.
atheism is dangerous. I'd like
Hmm.
to hear your feelings on that.
I've expressed them quite in detail in my presentation. Did you go through that?
No, I just read the title of the video.
Okay, sure. Well, basically, there is a lecture in which I presented the case that there are a number of problems with atheism, but today's focus was on its history, which is full of gore, violence, and murder, and extremism and terrorism. That's what makes it dangerous.
Oh my, that does sound dangerous.
Yeah, it sounds like it, doesn't it?
So atheism, again, I'm confused because can I hear your definition of atheism again?
I'm not going to give mine until I get a coherent definition from atheists. The collective time has gone beyond 9 hours now in two streams, and the third stream is also going to be up in a few days' time. So I think there's going to be another few hours added to it. And so far, I have had atheists telling each other how wrong they are about their definitions. So I am not giving, I'm going to suspend my judgment on this. I would rather have atheists tell me what is atheism.
Okay, because I mean, I've explained what I think it is, obviously,
That's fair
and
enough. I mean, there are other people who agreed with you, and there are many more who disagreed with you before and after your joining. So, like I said, this is an sort of an internal conflict between atheists.
well,
As
it
a
really isn't.
non-atheist, I would rather. Sorry, can I finish my sentence?
Yeah, no,
Um,
go ahead. Yeah,
as a non-atheist, I would rather enjoy all this on from the side, which I'm doing at the moment. So, whenever you come up with an
the problem is
a
you keep coming up with these titles and these speeches about what atheism is, and you seem to know, you seem to have your own idea of what
I've
atheism
got a pretty
is,
good idea.
and it seems like you've got it set up as it's an ideology, basically, like it's its own set
Mhm.
of religious type dogmas and the same
Yeah, I
kind of
don't disagree
system.
with that. Yeah, I don't disagree with that
And
assessment. Yeah,
you're just completely wrong on that. Like you're just ascribing stuff to atheism that's just not
yeah.
there. So
Okay.
if you have one of these leaders of a basically an organization, whoever it is, whoever you want to put on it, and
Hmm.
they're an atheist, but they also happen to have a lot of other really bad ideas.
Yeah,
Those two things aren't tied together.
sure.
Atheism is just simply somebody who has not seen enough evidence to make them believe that there is supernatural in the world.
Hmm.
So that's simply all it is. Atheism is just somebody who doesn't have evidence and therefore doesn't believe. Just like for any other belief that you hold, you have
Yeah.
evidence for it. And when you don't have evidence, it's called faith. And then
Okay.
so the two are
Look,
just not tied together at all. And
can I?
it really bothers me that you keep doing that.
Sure. Can I come in
It's
on this?
it's it's disingenuous. And yeah,
Can
go
I
ahead.
come in on this?
Yeah.
Look, if it is not acceptable to you, then again, it's not something that I am going to weigh in, because of one simple reason, that I have not given what my definition is or what my understanding is. I don't think I have the right to define atheism, given the fact that I am not atheist myself. So I would rather have atheists have their say on it. And what I have seen is quite elaborate, and I have a pretty good understanding of that. But if you say that you don't agree with me, and you would say this on the not on the basis that you disagree with my definition, but you would disagree with me on the basis that I don't agree with your definition. Now, the problem is that it's not me who is disagreeing with you, it's the other atheists, people who hear. So far, in 9 hours, more than 9 hours, what I've heard from atheists is that it is a scientific position, it is a philosophical position, it is a passive position, it is an active position. to name a few. Now, if you say that your definition is the best one, I have no problem with it. The problem is the atheists, they don't agree with you. So it is your internal dialogue. I have nothing to do with it.
But I guess that's my argument, is that not
I
it's
get
not
it.
only you that just keeps ascribing all of these traits to atheism that just aren't there. Atheism is just a definition. It's
That's
not
unfair.
it's not an
That's unfair.
ideology. So if other
Curtis,
people are using it wrong, that's also not my problem.
but you are here to have your say, and you are having your say, and you'll have many other atheists. They will probably agree with you and disagree with you. So
But
again,
my say is
that
only geared
agreement or
towards you and
disagreement
what
is
you're
is
saying.
something very much internal to atheists. I have nothing to do with it.
I'm just saying my issue is with you and what you're saying, what
But
you
you don't know
ascribe to
what
it.
my take on the definition is, and you just disagree with it based on that I don't have a definition for it.
No, I think I've in our past discussions, I think you've basically said that you more or less agree with the people that are ascribing all these other traits to it, and then you run with it. Then you keep piling on. You have
That's not
conversation
true.
after conversation with people,
That's
and
just
you
not true.
ascribe
Like
all
I
of this
said,
stuff to atheism.
Curtis, look, everybody who comes on my stream, I give them the respect so they can have their say. Right? There are general basic standards, of course, the language and so on and so forth. Now, people come here, they have their say. You came here, you had your say. Please don't put it on me that I give certain credence to any particular definition. I don't think any of those, it's up to me to give the credibility to. But what I am saying is that if there is an idea, we have a word called the atheism, and that is so far fetched in the ideologies that it actually goes as far as killing people. And I've given plenty of evidence in my today's presentation, the number of people who've been killed because of it. It has to have a definition. And my streams, they were never meant to cause any disparity between the atheists. My case was, well, convince me on this. And then it took to a different route, where instead of atheists trying to convince me on this, they are now have started to convince each other that my definition is better than yours. And like I said, I have nothing to do with it. I mean, your
And neither
definition is
do
one
I.
thing. Say again.
And neither do I. I don't care what other people claim atheism is. Like
Sure.
atheism,
I guess that's the
it's
end of
it's not
discussion
up
then.
for debate what atheism is. It's very clear. Now, when you
Okay,
say
that's
that
your
people
view. I
are
understand
being
that's your
killed
view.
in the name of atheism, like how is
Yeah.
that even a coherent sentence?
The history is not on your side on this, my friend.
So if
So the,
somebody does not believe in Allah, so
Mhm.
makes them an atheist,
Okay,
and
sure.
they happen to also go and kill somebody,
Yeah.
you say that the reason they went and killed somebody is because of their lack of belief in
Mhm.
a particular god? Like, does that make sense?
Well, if it doesn't make sense, then I guess you need to ask, well, go back in the history and ask people who were behind the French Revolution when they made so many laws to impose the state atheism, and anyone who would oppose that, they made sub laws to that. For example, one of laws I gave reference to today was called the law of suspects. I believe that is 1793, and it gave allowance to the government agents that anyone who is hiding a priest, you can on the spot can kill the priest and the person who is giving shelter to that person. No right to trial, no accusations,
So
nothing
again,
to do
you're
with
taking
justifying your
something
case.
and you're conflating two things that are not have nothing to do with each other.
So
If they're
you have laws that say that the state is going to impose atheism. Anyone doesn't believe that we're going to kill that person, and your view is that this has nothing to do with the atheism.
what do you so you say how do you believe atheism? Atheism by definition is a lack of belief. It's not
No,
a
I
belief
don't
in
look.
something.
There is a variation in the definitions of it, and I think you know that too well because, like I said, there's been over 9 hours, and different atheists came up with different definitions. Now, I don't really
I
want
think
to
a
get
lot of
involved into
people
that.
put two
However,
things together that don't belong
if I can
together.
finish my sentence, Curtis. However, what we do know is that we have seen incidents in the history. We have seen organizations, for example, the League of Militant Atheists. We have seen them. We have seen the French Revolution, in which we had a movement
No.
called the de-Christianization, in which thousands
Again,
of
I
people
gotta
have been
stop you because
killed.
this is what you do. You just
Don't
ramble
stop
on
me
with
on this.
facts
Let
that
me
have
finish.
nothing to do with anything.
But these are the
And
historical
they're
facts. I'm
just
giving you the years. I'm giving you
it's
in
pointless.
1925. If it is pointless, then I guess you don't have to be here, my friend. All I can
Well,
tell you is that there
no,
have
I'm
been
just
people who've been
saying
killed
what
in the name of
the
atheism.
things that you're putting
That's how simple
together
it
don't
is.
belong together, and you
Okay,
know
what do you
that,
say?
but
Okay,
you just
here is
keep
an
going
atheist
on
movement.
with it.
Well, let me ask you a very specific question. If there is a new body is created, a new movement is started called the League of Godless, which is then later became the League of Militant Atheists, people have started calling it. They go to a church and they kill the priest, they kill the worshippers there, they confiscate the land given to the church, and they lock down the church, and they do that in the name of atheism because the mandate of that organization is to spread the atheism. How would you describe that?
Again, you're speaking nonsense. How can a group of non-believers like that?
Yeah.
There's not even such a thing. Nobody acts in the name of non-belief. Nobody
Okay.
says, "Oh, I'm going to go and kill a whole bunch of people because I don't believe in astrology, or I don't believe in science, or I don't
But what
believe
if
in
someone
whatever
did?
the belief is."
But what if someone did?
So if somebody forms a group and they call themselves whatever,
Yeah.
militant group of atheists,
Yeah.
then it has nothing to do with atheism. That's what I'm telling you.
Would you condemn them?
I would condemn what they're doing, yes, but not
Would
in
you
the
condemn
name of
them for killing
atheism.
people in the name of atheism?
There is no, you can't kill somebody in the name of
But their
atheism.
mandate was to spread atheism. You cannot simply say that, look, because my
How
definition
do you
is different,
spread
therefore
atheism?
my definition is better than, or my definition is good enough to reject a historical event. You cannot change history because you have a different definition.
When you talk about spreading atheism,
Yeah.
like think about that before you say it. Like,
Yeah.
what are you spreading? What exactly would you spread?
Atheism.
What?
Atheism.
Okay, what would you spread? What's the thing that you're going to your buddy and you're telling him,
Well,
okay, I need you to
I'm
join?
not going to get involved into it until I get a
Yeah, you
coherent
don't want to get
definition
involved
by
because
the
you
atheism.
know that it's absolute nonsense.
No, it's not absolute nonsense. And if it is absolute nonsense, then you will have to call all the atheist philosophers nonsense who actually agree with my definition, which I have not given out yet, and I don't think I will anytime soon.
I do think a
I
lot
have
of the
no reason.
philosophers are nonsense.
Okay, well, if you do think, look, if you think history is nonsense, people who've been killed in the name of atheism, that is nonsense only
Nobody's been
because
killed in the
your
name of
definition.
atheism.
Are you sure about it?
Yes.
So when there was a specific organization created with a specific mandate to spread
It's two
atheism,
separate
and it
things.
has been funded by the government, and they killed in the name of their mandate, and the only reason for you to deny that is because your definition is far too pious for that. That is nonsense.
If they
That is the
formed an
epitome of nonsense.
organization to go kill people, they did it for
Yeah, it
whatever
is
reasons
called
they
the
wanted
League
to
of
kill the
Militant.
people.
Look, Curtis,
They
do you
didn't do
know
it because of their lack of belief in
do you
God.
know do you know what, before having this conversation today, were you familiar with the League of Militant Atheists?
It doesn't matter to me because
But
you
were
can
you?
call it whatever you want.
Because there is a pattern developing here. For example, last week you said that your intention is to get rid of all the religions, and then you accepted that you don't know much about my religion, and
I
today you
actually
are
didn't say any of
heavily.
that.
Yes, you did. It's all recorded still on
Yeah, you
Facebook.
clipped it
And
all
YouTube.
in the video the way that you
But the
wanted to
live
present
but
it.
the live discussion is still there. I
But I didn't
edited it
say the
because, like
things
I
that
said, that you
what
were.
you just said.
I
I did
responded.
not utter any of those words.
Okay, listen. I will let you to have your say. Can I finish my case here?
Yeah, just stop saying things that are wrong and I'll stop interrupting.
No, if you think I am wrong,
Rajaji, I was
then
suggesting
Don't
let
tell me
me
what I
finish.
said. I know what I said. I don't need you to tell
Dog,
me what I said.
dog,
This is
dog,
not
listen,
the
dog,
way.
listen. Would you like to
This is
join
not a
some English
way.
channel for this? We are here for Urdu or Hindi audience, I think so. People are
No, that's
waiting
fine.
behind.
Let him speak. Then it is
No,
better.
I was told to come here, so I came here, and
No,
I'm not here to talk to
fine.
you, so you
Amir,
can
Amir, that's
mute
fine. Okay, Amir,
yourself.
that's fine.
We are,
But let us deal with something which is important here. Curtis, if you think that I am saying something wrong, my dear sir, you have no right to interrupt me. Hear me out. Have your say. I will not interrupt you. If you are saying something wrong, I am not going to interrupt you only because I think you are wrong on this. Again, I will let you have your piece. I think that's a very much an educated and civilized way of having a conversation. Can we do that?
I just think it's a waste of time when I hear you going into
Then
a
you don't have to
10-minute
be here.
rant about
If you
some
think,
organization that
look, if you
killed a bunch of
think
people.
well, that's a thing. Well, this is exactly what I am saying. I see this pattern developing because all you do is you come up with the brash ideas that you know nothing of, and I can guarantee you, you have absolutely no idea of the League of Militant Atheists or the law I've mentioned earlier in the French Revolution, but you are just defending it without even knowing anything. A reasonable person would say that, look, I have heard of these things today. I will come back in your next stream, but in the meantime, I will do my research. And if you're wrong, I'm going to call you out. And I would say, Curtis, that is the best thing I can have. Do call me out on anything that I am saying wrong. But if you don't know anything about the history, you don't know anything about the French Revolution and the laws they made, you don't know how many people have been killed in the name of atheism, and you're just insisting all that based on your lack of knowledge, that's absurd.
See, you keep saying I have a lack of knowledge. You have no idea what I
Which is
know or
fine.
what I don't know. All I
But I did
argued
ask
was
you
the
that.
point
But
that
I did
a
ask you that,
group
didn't I?
that forms and kills a bunch of people and happens to be called, they called themselves the League of Atheists. That's
Yeah.
just two separate things, and you're conflating it as if it's the same thing.
Because you're
The fact that
refusing.
they wanted to go murder somebody has nothing to do with their lack of belief in a god.
Okay. And here
If
is the
they,
thing. Because you're refusing a very specific question, you're refusing the answering it, which is, if somebody did kill in name of atheism, would you condemn that? And you say that no, that is not even possible. But ask me, if somebody killed someone in name of Islam and it did so unlawfully, would you condemn that? I would say absolutely, I would condemn that. Why can you condemn the act of a human life taken away in the name of atheism? What is so difficult about it?
because there's no such thing as killing in the name of atheism. That's the part you
Because you
don't
don't know the
understand.
history. Because you don't know the history. But I've
It
told
doesn't
you.
matter about the history.
But if there is an event that took place, and the event was about killing people, confiscating land, killing the priests, and it was funded, and it had a specific mandate of promoting or spreading and disseminating atheism, and all you say is that no, that did not happen. I mean, did it happen or did it not happen? I mean,
No,
just
it didn't happen.
it did not happen. Okay, well,
No.
how about this? How about this? You go back in my stream, right? Although most of it was in Urdu, but I used fair share of English language in it as well. And all the slides are in English language. All the references are there. All the years and all the names are there. Why don't you just go there, look them up, do your research, and then
You're
come
not
back
really
and you tell me
understanding the
again.
point.
No. But when you come back, you tell me specifically that no one's life was taken in the name of atheism. If you say, and this should help you out, a lot. If you say that somebody misused the name of atheism, they took someone's life by bringing the name of atheism, and by doing that, they brought the name of atheism into disrepute, that would be a different argument. But you're not making that argument. You are making the argument that no one was killed in name of atheism. Curtis, if
I'm
someone
making the
puts his
claim that
gun to
it's not
my head and
possible.
say, I'm going to kill you in the name of atheism, and then he kills me, I would be killed in the name of atheism. Whether that person understood the atheism or not, that's a different matter. It's a different thing.
That's the whole matter, yeah. The fact
So
that
why
they
don't you just so do you agree
misrepresent it
with me
is the
that you
matter.
should go back to my presentation
No,
and look it up, and then come back and then you say that, look, this is where you're right and this is where you're wrong? Do you think that's a reasonable thing to do?
no, I don't need
So
to do that.
what is the reasonable thing to do then, that you don't know the history, you don't know the events, and you just insist that it did not happen? Is that the reasonable thing to do?
I'm just telling you that it can't happen. It's a nonsense claim to claim that somebody killed in the name of atheism.
How much of
So it
faith
doesn't
you are
matter
placing in
what
that?
historical event you claim or how many of them you claim.
Yeah.
It's a nonsense
Let me explain. I mean, I know you're after my definitions, but I'm not going to give you the atheism's definition, but I'm going to give you the definition of nonsense. The definition of nonsense is that you go to a stream, don't do any of the research, and then you come across certain topics that you have absolutely no idea about, and based on your lack of knowledge, you say that everybody else is wrong and I'm right.
No,
That, my friend, is definition of being absurd and definition of being nonsense.
no, it's actually not the definition of nonsense. So
I just gave you mine, and that's what it
nonsense
is.
is basically means it makes no sense.
Which you
So
that's
when you
exactly
make a
what you
claim
do.
about atheism, what you have no idea about, that's
Curtis, I'm
nonsense.
going to cut you short on this because I've got other people waiting. The best offer I can make you, my friend, that any reasonable person would do is
I think
to
you need to
to
do some
ask you to go.
research.
Sorry, can I finish it off again? Again, you
Yeah,
don't really
go
have
do
to
your
do this.
own
I'm sure you are
research.
eloquent enough to
Go do
have your
your
say without
research on
interrupting.
atheism. Figure out
Sure.
what the definition actually is, because you have no idea.
Trust me, I have a
Oh,
very
you
good
get
keep
the
idea
hell
on
out of
that.
demonstrating
here.
that over and
Trust me,
over
I have a
again.
very good idea on it, but I'm not gonna
You
I'm
have
not gonna
no
help you
idea.
guys out on this.
You
I'm
keep
not going to.
ascribing stuff
But
to it
look,
that doesn't belong
to
with it.
me, if an atheist tells me that I don't know what atheism is, that is one thing, and that you can be right or that can be wrong, but there is no case of embarrassment here. But if other atheists tell you, the atheist, that you don't know what atheism is, that is frankly very embarrassing, and that is what people have been doing, not just to yourself as in the individual, but everybody who believed in
This
your
is coming
or
from
everybody who
somebody
agreed.
who's, well, there's what, 72 different sects of your own religion, not to mention the thousands of other religions that are out there. And
And
you're
what is the
talking
point?
about atheists
What is
that
the
can't
point?
get a definition straight?
Why are we changing topics on this now? Hmm?
Because it just shows
Calm down. You don't have to
how you
shout at me.
just
Come on.
twist stuff.
You really don't
You
have to
just
shout.
twist everything.
I don't twist. I'm just asking you a simple question. That if in history people have been killed in the name of atheism, why do you have the audacity to say that no, they were not killed? Lives were taken away.
So
How
you
how
seem
long?
concerned
And you know
about
the
this, but
people,
look at your
people,
own
people
religion and
like
how many
Michael
people
Ruse and
your
people
own
like
religion has
John
killed.
Gray and number of other atheists who actually believe that atheism itself is a religion and people will do whatever it takes to defend it. You are proving them right. I've just gave you information. I gave you the opportunity to go and verify it and then come back and have a conversation with me. But you are
I'm
so
proving the
desperate to
fact
defend
that
your
you're
religion
wrong.
that you just don't want to even accept that people were killed in the name of atheism. They were. There were people who were made to suffer. There were women who lost their
You're
husbands, and
preaching
you have
to
the
me as
audacity to
if
say that that
you
was not done in the
are
name of atheism.
standing on higher ground and your own religion. Have you looked at your own religion and its history?
Yes,
You
I
want to
actually
talk
have.
about people murdered and the grotesque way that you guys
If
seem to
if you
go about
want
it?
if
Your
you want to
religion of
change the
peace?
topics, well, we are a religion of peace, absolutely. Though we do accept that the
Absolutely
violence
a
is.
religion of peace. I mean, you could ask anybody and
Hmm.
they would definitely
Why
list
don't I ask?
Muslim as
Why don't
Islam
I
as a
ask you?
religion of peace.
Why don't I ask you? How many people have you guys killed? The atheists? You know the number? It goes up to 259 million people. Don't you
Where
dare tell
you're
me my
just
religion
pulling
is not
another
inclusive.
number out of your ass. How can
No,
you
I'm not.
prove that
No,
anybody
no.
was killed
Look,
in the
like I
name of
said,
atheism,
okay. Well,
which you
again,
can't even
Get the
do?
the
hell out of
first,
here.
the
There
first
is
good
no
thing you did.
organization
Look,
called
buddy,
atheism.
the first good thing you did is ask me that where do you get this information from? But you do know that every time when you ask me where did I get that information from, it doesn't go well for you because I give you the information, and after that you struggle. And even though you did ask me for the information, but you couldn't help with using that term that we don't like to use. But anyway, now that you asked, the information came from a professor who is also a historian. His name is Rudolf Joseph Rummel,
It's all,
and he is
who
an American
cares what
political
some
scientist.
professor
You
thinks?
should care.
Did
You
he go
should
and
care.
count how many people died?
You sh- no. Did I say that
Where
he
did he
gave
get
you the
his
exact
information
number?
from?
There
Another
is
another guy
historical
just pulled
information
numbers out
data.
of his
Curtis, look,
ass,
Curtis.
and all of a
I'm really
sudden
having enough of this
you're
because now,
that's gospel
I
to you.
really thought when you approached me after your first appearance on my show, you said that you will start to behave. Or I don't remember your exact words, but you implied that, and I said, look, I will welcome you, and I was genuinely hoping that you will come across with this sense. History is wrong to you. Professors don't know anything. People have not been killed in the name of
I'm just
atheism.
saying
There
because
is
one
only there is a
professor
limit. Look,
claims a
there is a
bunch of
limit.
numbers
There is
does
a
not
limit.
make
Why?
them
How do you know? Okay,
historical
how do you
fact.
know that that professor actually exists? What if I gave you some made up name?
You
Are you gonna
probably
start resisting
did.
every single thing? I did not. I did not, by the way. But what if I did? Because your tendency is that I am going to say no, no matter what. And there is
So
only so much time I can
I could
allocate to
find a
that
professor
kind of
that says
mindset.
no,
Curtis,
nobody was killed in the name of atheism.
Curtis, Curtis, you do realize that there is only so much time I can allocate to this type of mindset. If you're just coming here with, but in what I really struggle with is that you want to have a conversation with me, but this kind of adolescent
I just
behavior, in
can't
that
stand
I
your
am just going
attitude,
to
to
say
be
no.
honest. Like,
I'm a teenager who's going to say no to everything.
you
That, my
talk
friend, is
over
not a
me,
good way of having an
you
educated
keep being a
conversation.
condescending
You want to have a
asshole.
conversation with me, you really have to do better than this. So next time when you come
So
here,
why would
make
I show
sure
you
that
any
you know your
respect?
history. Curtis, I'm going to let you have your say, but this is just getting bizarre. And what is really disappointing is that our what we call desi atheists, right, or with the local atheists, we sometimes give them the reference that you should learn to speak how people in the Canada or in US or the UK they speak. They're reasonable people, but I'm sorry, my friend, you are just violating every standard of conversation. I'm really having enough of it.
No,
Do
the
you want to
problem
stay on my
is
show or do you
I
not?
just don't allow you to talk over me and talk nonsense. That's the
And I
problem. And you're
did
not used
offer
to it.
you, how
You're
about we
used to
speak
being able
one
to just
person at a
cut
time?
people
If you
off,
can't do
and then
it,
you
if
go
you
on
can't
with
apply
your
that standard,
10-minute
don't expect
rant
me to
of
do that.
absolute nonsense, and they're
Okay,
supposed to
think this
sit there
is
and listen to
I
it.
think this is
And
just
I just
enough.
don't do
Next
it.
time when you do decide to come to my show, please behave like a proper adult, because childish behavior simply has absolutely no space in here. Somebody of the conversation is I gave you references, I gave you historical evidences, I gave you the academic reference and everything else. But to you, everything is wrong because my definition is right. Now, please don't do that next time. For today, I will have to say thank you very much indeed for coming on board, but I cannot really indulge this kind of naivety any further. Thank you
Whatever.
and goodbye. Seriously,